have something interesting to tell, because I'm going to tell you something about Lakeside, the stuff that we are doing, and then in particular the blockchain competition, which pretty much directly relates to Ether risk and to the stuff Christoph will tell you about. So what are we doing with Lakeside Partners? With Lakeside Partners, we are an investment firm, traditional venture capital firm, and we are in the heart of Crypto Valley. So some time ago, we actually decided to switch from kind of industry or technology agnostic investing to do more and more stuff in the blockchain space, because being in this prime location, Crypto Valley, we are exposed to a lot of inbound interest, and we thought, okay, well, we are going to actually use this and to put this to something good. So we now become more and more one of the main VCs in the blockchain space, and we are based in Zug, so pretty much 20 minutes south from here. What are we doing? So some of you might think this is a bit bold. I actually don't think it's bold, but I spent the last years in Palo Alto, California, so maybe I'm a bit biased on boldness. But we are actually building the world's blockchain startup ecosystem. So what we are doing is we want to be the Y Combinator for all things blockchain, the Y Combinator for all things crypto. And why do we do that? Well, blockchain is by virtue and by nature and by definition decentralized, right? And so are all the blockchain teams. So for example, Status, the guys that are doing the ICO right now, one of their co-founders is based in Berlin, one of their co-founders is based in Singapore, and now I think they've registered a legal entity in Switzerland. But nevertheless, at some point, all these decentralized teams, all these decentralized initiatives actually like to have a home, and a place that they can call home, where they can meet each other, but also where they can mingle with other blockchain crypto startups, but also where they can meet investors, where they can meet corporate partners, where they can meet just everyone that they should be speaking to at some point. And for some reason, this area around Zurich, Zug, Switzerland in general, for some reason is already dubbed Crypto Valley. But if you take a closer look, the ecosystem is still in its infancy. And when I said that we are going to build the Y Combinator of Crypto Valley, this is really, really the case, because we think talent is everywhere, that's all fine. But we need the ecosystem, and the ecosystem is not just us, the ecosystem is all sorts of participants that have been in the crypto space already, or that are going to be in the crypto space for the years to come. So how are we going to do that? For the past years, Lakeside has been running a business center in Zug, and we have right now a co-working space that gives us 400 square meters of co-working space, but that's for the traditional investments that we've done. And we like to do something early, something around incubation, acceleration, so we like to go in early. And when we then came up with a mission or the idea of creating the new crypto startup hub, the new crypto ecosystem, we said, okay, well, we need a bigger space, first of all. So we are currently refurbishing a 1,500 square meter space, also in the heart of Zug. And we're not doing that alone, because we think that would be quite foolish of us. So we're actually doing it with some of the biggest names in the industry. So on the legal side, we have support from NME. On the broadcasting side, we have the support from Singular DTV. On the association and really not-for-profit side, we have the support of Crypto Valley Association. And again, I think this is really an inclusive effort. So whoever is interested in joining us, building this Crypto Valley Labs hub in Zug is more than welcome to do so. What's the broader idea behind that Crypto Valley Lab Zug? Well, Zug is great, and we all enjoy being in Zurich and around here, but we think eventually this has to become a hub and spoke model. So Crypto Valley Lab Zug will be the inauguration hub, where we start with building that ecosystem, that physical ecosystem, but we also want to spread it out in a hub and spoke model. So we actually think of franchising this entire system. So you will have Crypto Valley Labs Palo Alto, Crypto Valley Labs Singapore, wherever something big is happening. And there are a couple of, well, a lot smaller spots on the world map, but also these are little spots for crypto, and we also want to be inclusive with those guys. So we really want to build something that's really spanning around the world, spanning around the globe. So I've told you a bit about Lakeside, I've told you a bit about Crypto Valley Labs, and I've already apologized for jumping into Ether risk and jumping into the ICO that Status is doing. But I also told you that what we are doing relates to Ether risk. So why is that? We've been looking at Ether risk since, well, whenever they started. And the two co-founders, they actually met on a Slack channel, and then shortly after we joined them and discussing things and sparring ideas. And Ether risk is a startup building a blockchain solution for the insurance industry. And we like that because we see a lot of use cases, a lot of potential in insurance. So it's not only financial services, right? Like the big banks that are joining Ripple or all these other consortia. We in particular, or we see a potential in particular in insurance. So coming from Ether risk and seeing what these guys are doing, and two of our partners have a background in insurance themselves, we came up with the idea of doing a startup pitching contest, and we call it blockchain competition. And what you can get if you win this thing is 100,000 USD in cash with no strings attached. So we're not taking equity, we're not taking a board seat even, we are really giving this away if your startup or if your team is going to win this competition, because we believe this is something great to already achieve, so we don't want to do anything else. What is the blockchain competition about? So this is a call for applicants for everyone that's building a genuine blockchain solution or application. So we're not talking about a database and just wrapping it up in a blockchain because this would allow you to collect a bunch of money. No, we are looking for genuine, true blockchain startups that are having some angle to insurance. It doesn't need to be as close as Ether risk for insurance, but some insurance angle would be nice. So if you are a team building something in the KYC, in the AML space, or even in the broader financial sector, we would love to hear from you. And the application deadline is end of July. So you still have pretty much 6 weeks to apply or to spread the gospel around blockchain competition and what we are doing. What does the winner actually get? The winner obviously gets those 100K in cash. But the winner also gets our full support. And as I said, we as Lakeside partners, we like to be hands-on, we like to come in early, so we will actually help the winner to put these 100K to use. It's still his or her own money, but we'll help you with a network, we'll help you with co-working space, with C-level sparring, with all those things that, well, you could call smart capital, besides the hard capital, the hard cash. Final award show will be November 22nd. This will take place in Zug. And what we will do, we will wait for all applications to kick in until the end of July. Then we will funnel those applications. We will do a first round with them via Skype or Google Hangout. And then for this final event on November 22nd, we are going to invite the 10 best of those startups to come to Zug and then pitch in front of the entire jury, pitch in front of the general public, whoever is interested in crypto and blockchain. So if you are interested in the blockchain competition in particular, please check us out on Twitter, check us out on our homepage. Feel free to speak to my colleague Ian, who's really the master of puppets for all things blockchain competition. He's also here, the guy with a heavy American accent that doesn't happen to be Scott. So, yeah, I think that's from our side. I've told you a bit about Lakeside Partners, I've told you a bit about Crypto Valley Labs, Zug, that we are currently building, told you a bit about the blockchain competition, and if any of these things mildly interest you, feel more than free to reach out and to speak to us. Thank you.